Iona here, and we're doing a little demo in the studio, and I've been working on 3 different canvases that were rejects from the museum studio. And so in our last video we saw how I had started to work with those substrates to get them freshened up for a water health competition that we have going on citywide right now in the school system. So at the museum I have the kids working on their own Eric Carle inspired collages, which means primarily painted tissue paper. So we've been working a lot with that. But this week I'm going to show them something different, and I wanted to share it with you in advance. So I've got my light board out, and I have a wonderful book that is filled with copyright-free illustrations of 18th century lithographic animals. It's a wonderful, wonderful book. And I've just taken one page and done a photocopy of it. And I'm going to put it on my light board. And this is my opportunity to share how to make any image your own without feeling like you have to learn how to draw it right at the moment. So I have the light board. I've chosen one. I'm choosing one bird. I'm going to grab a pencil. I'm going to do a tracing of the bird just with my pencil, and I'm using a paper here on the light board that is parchment paper. I mentioned it hopefully in the last video. I buy it at the hardware store. It is drop cloth paper that comes in a big square of about, I think, 9 by 25 feet. And it has all kinds of folds in it, and it's about the weight of a parchment paper. So it has a really beautiful feel to it, to my hand. And so I'm just using that paper as the resource for my next collage element. So I've got the bird. It's traced off of the light board. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you'll be able to see it in a moment because I'm going to now do it in in ink. If I could get my ink opened, I will do ink. Okay, the spontaneity of the, oh, it won't open. All right, so we'll turn off the light board and we'll move it out of the way. And we'll simply use a Sharpie marker. It all works, doesn't it? So we just take a Sharpie marker and we will outline our bird, giving us a really beautiful shape to work with rather quickly so that nobody gets bogged down thinking, I don't know what to do. So all of the young artists will have access to what I call the magic animal basket, and they'll all be able to choose an animal that relates in their mind to water, and they'll be able to then incorporate that animal through their own drawing marks, as I have done here with my own drawing marks. Now I have the bird, and the bird is going to become an element in my collage. I can tear the bird out roughly with my fingers, and then I can come in further with my scissor if I want to, or I can clearly just add it to my composition with torn edges. I love torn edges, and they meld into the other collaged elements really beautifully because of the feathered edge of the paper based on the tear rather than a cut. So these are all things that we, of course, experiment with and find what we really enjoy. And then we utilize what we discover. So I really make sure that all of my artists, adults and young artists also, that everybody really gets into the idea of being what I like to call a healthy 6-year-old artist. And if you're a healthy 6-year-old artist, the sky is the limit. Now I'm going to cut into the curve of the bird's head and back, simply because it would be really awkward here on the video to attempt to get in there and do that as a tear. It's possible, but we're not going to take the time to do that right this second. And I cut off the beak. Now I've got my bird, and it's my bird. It's inspired by an 18th century lithograph, but because I've placed it on the light board and done my own tracing of it, I now have a collage element that I can use, and I can use it repeatedly. So I can add it to any one of these three substrates that I've already got going, and just see how it incorporates as part of my composition, honoring the health of the oceans and the waterways. I am going to apply it after I get more done on the on these others. But what I'm going to do, just for our video purposes, I'm just going to take this plain piece of wood that's been painted blue, and I'm going to put this on with matte medium and just show us how it collages right onto the surface of the board. So I just add matte medium to my surface. I add matte medium to the back of my collage paper, place it where I want it, and then I go over it again with matte medium. And this will give us an opportunity to actually see a little bit of collage in action right here today. In the next video, we'll go further with these drying. These are all still drying, and I'm going to add more, but we'll have an opportunity to go further. So now we have our collaged bird just on this one piece of wood, and I'll see you next time, and we'll see what happens next with our experimentation in repurposing old canvases that were going to go to the bin and creating new canvases with a collage focus. And our topic is the health of our waters and our water systems at this point in time. So thanks for being here. I'll see you next time.